All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Emmanuel here with Alex.
Hello, this is me.
And today we're going to be doing our hobby and hang. Should be live. I'm watching on my monitor. Doesn't look like it's live. Are we live?
Is it? I sure hope so because I already said hello.
Oh, and you're not going to get that again.
Nope, I
Who,
only say
who,
hello once.
who are we? British? We're no
Oh god.
glass half dead here. There's no multiples of hellos. I believe that would be copyright infringement. Um,
I think you may need to do some research on how copyright works.
I don't know anything of this. My area of expertise lies as far removed from copyright as it possibly can. Um, Welcome to Hobby and Hang, Internet. We're just going to hang out and hobby. How you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing good. I was a little cranky this morning, but I've got some quesadillas in my tummy now, and I'm working on a beer, so it's improved.
You want to talk about it, Boo?
No, 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 no.
You want live heart to heart with all of the internet to hear?
Welcome to our hobby and therapy session.
Therapy and hang.
Yeah.
What you working on today, bud?
Working on some little baby Scutari Rangers.
As is tradition.
Uh,
Is it Monday? Yes, Alex is painting Scutari.
mhm.
What's your
That's how it's going to be for a while.
what's your total gonna have to be before you're done? Is
You're
that a
funny. You're funny. You're
well?
real
I
funny.
mean, you got a list in mind, right?
No, I just
These are not
want
for
more.
something specific.
Well, at some point, I want to be able to field large amounts of Skitarii in Big Hammer. Um,
Are you sure
and
you're not the orc player?
I'm genuinely not. I don't enjoy fielding these large amounts of boys, but there's a
Let's
very good chance that I'll need 20 of them for LVO.
you called them boys.
Yes.
One of us.
Hey, remember that time when you tried to argue that your mainline troop squad was genderless, and then I asked you what its name was?
Yeah, I didn't answer. Yeah, we were having a. I can't remember how we got onto the conversation, and I was just like, well, I mean, orcs aren't boys. Orcs aren't male or female. I'm pretty sure they don't have genitalia. And just without missing a beat, Alex just said, "What's your basic unit called?" No,
Yep.
no answering to the likes of you. So I am taking a bit of the break from the Pathfinder slog that I find myself in, and my Gobbo finally arrived, and I'm very excited for said Gobbo.
Have you
So,
asked him how long he was stuck on a boat for?
not directly. Once he's completely built, then maybe I'll be able to do that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was really excited to build this guy. I didn't have time over the weekend because stuff, but getting to it now, and I'm pretty excited. It comes with an optional Rudolph nose, which I laughed at when they called it optional. I should see actually how it's specifically worded because where's the box? Alrighty.
And you were right, because when we were talking about it earlier and you said that it was an option in the kit, I assumed I had seen it, but I think it was I'd seen like the bulb on the end of the antler or something.
Yeah, this bulb. Yeah, it's called choice of parts. Like you could choose to string some Christmas lights coming out of like snagged on one of the teeth
Hmm.
of the squig, and you could choose to give it the Rudolph nose. I don't see that as a choice. I genuinely don't. I forgot which.
Maybe, if someone didn't like reindeer?
This is serious
Okay.
business. This is painting a Christmas grot. We take our lore seriously here, sir. Well, I am very excited for this week of Kill Team. And I'll tell you why.
Oh, yeah. Tell everyone why. I just realized that my charger's in another room. Go, go, go.
Uh-oh. What am I saying? Well, I mean, I don't know how I carry on a conversation with you if you just leave in the middle of it and then just pretend like you were here for it. So I'm not going to tell anyone yet. I'm not excited for Kill Team at all, ever again.
I shouldn't have said anything. You wouldn't have known.
I wouldn't have known. I would have rambled for about 20 minutes before I got to the point. As is tradition. I'm very excited for this week of Kill Team because we got some interesting rumors about a Corsairs Kill Team, maybe, for Eldar from this weekend. And I'm excited to see what more they do with leaks and teases, if that actually is something that comes to fruition. But then
where did that come from?
The GW Advent Calendar thing.
Uh-huh.
There was a post on, I forget the exact wording, but a lot of people picked up on this to assume that what it meant is that we'll get a treatment kind of like Commandos, where they reference them as like an elite detachment or team or something like that you could take alongside. The wording was kind of similar as far as when they're talking about like, oh, you're going to have an elite team, or you're going to have something like that. Something akin to the wording used for taking like a Commandos kill team.
Okay, cool.
As a unit. So it could be complete hogwash, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it could be super interesting to get something like that, because that by definition means that Eldar will get new models, because I can't imagine they're going to use those 20-year-old Corsairs as a flagship kill team. But they might just do that to screw with Eldar fans.
Well, I don't know anything about that kit. Is it a monopose, or is it...
I'm like fairly certain it is.
Okay. I was going to say, because they've twice now with the Guard and Tau shown they'll do the upgrade sprues.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm excited to see what comes of that, if we get more leaks, or not leaks, get more kind of like spoils from James' workshop, or if we're all just completely wrong.
In any case, it'll be good to have Eldar models that can't legally drink.
That is true.
In the United States, even.
That's right. How you doing, Ben? Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop here. He's working on his converting his Krieg into Vostroyan Firstborn. I'm curious to hear how you're doing their heads, if you just bought some third-party heads. I think either Anvil Industries or Puppets War does some pretty neat kind of Russian hat heads, or if you're tackling it with green stuff. I find green stuff is really easy to turn into fur. I've used just very simple carving tools to kind of dimple into fur shapes before. I've even used a pair of just basic kitchen shears because I didn't have anything else handy. So I'm curious how you're doing those hats, but I've always dug the Vostroyan look for Guard, and it makes me remember our friend Ben, because he had Vostroyans.
Yeah, he had Vostroyans for a long time.
Wait, no, it wasn't Ben.
Ben
had Talarn. I think it was
no, Ben definitely.
Will had Vostroyans, because I remember he would play the Red Alert theme whenever he would muster. And he had them on 32 millimeter bases because they looked better. And then that bit him in the ass when he tried to fit two on a I call it a vantage point out of habit now, but it was just a high up point, which had absolutely no tactical relevance.
Well, they still had lots of tactical relevance.
Nice. Oh, nice. I'm excited to see how they turn out. He's saying he's using green stuff and milliput to make them. Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, that's some advanced stuff.
Yeah, send me a message on Discord when you got work in progress to show off, because I'm really interests. Yeah, that works. Yeah. But also, I'm really excited about Kill Team this week because I'm excited to dive deeper into other factions. As you know, and as most people know, I've been really into my commandos. Justifiably so. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
They got so many tools, and they can take down the boogeyman, right?
Yeah.
Boogeyman being
I
custodians.
I think they're a boogeyman in their own right.
Well, yeah, but the boogeyman that everyone refers to as a gatekeeper is not. People don't refer to them as a gatekeeper because they can be beat. As you know,
Yes.
they can be beat, but the big boogeyman was custodians, and they definitely have tools to defeat them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this past week, I played a game with Buddy Jonathan again. I think I referred to him on a previous episode. And it was my second game that day. I had played a game with Austin earlier, and he brought his custodians, and he's still a little bit on the newer side. Like, he's got a firm grasp of the rules and all that stuff, but applying them and tactically and stuff like that, it was a lot of coaching in the game, just to kind of help him understand his decisions so he can make some good ones. So he played his custodians, and honestly, like, I don't know for you, but those teaching games, they take a lot of effort out of me, or they take a
Yeah.
lot of effort, and they drain me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'd echo that.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, I mean, I kind of still want to play my commandos, but I'm real tired, and they take a lot of brain work to make work well. Because, I mean, one bad move and the entirety of the team can kind of start to crumple. So you need to be very deliberate about positioning and order of activation, all that stuff, because they're good, but they're good when you're good, right? I think someone said in the Discord today that a lot of the bespoke teams tend to have higher skill ceilings, or higher skill floors and ceilings. And I think that's completely true for most of them. I think Pathfinders probably have a pretty low floor. But that's for another episode. So I asked him, like, what do you want me to play? I had my Grey Knight kill team, just a single fire team. I had some options for Death Watch. I didn't want to play my Mechrons because they're because it's just all flayed ones. And
Yeah.
that's kind of miserable, as Sheldon found out. I'll interrupt myself for to read out what Scotty Skips just said. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Can't stay, but I just wanted to drop in and thank y'all for the hard work that goes into the content. Happy hobbying. Cheers. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we do it for. We do it for you guys. Lord knows I don't like to do video editing as much as it seems like I might. There's a reason why the much teased video that we promised on what was it?
If you don't say it, they won't know.
Oh yeah, that video that shall remain nameless. I actually started to tinker around with audio editing today. It's a little bit of a mess because we had to record it in a couple different sessions and swap stuff around. So it's gonna take a minute, but it's a good video to get out eventually. Might be worth waiting for one more FAQ, which hopefully we get within the next couple months, just to make sure that since there was such a delay in getting it out, we don't need to re-record any of it in case they FAQ it. Yeah, that's my excuse. That's why it's not out yet.
I mean, I bought it until you said that last bit.
Yeah, that's funny. So I asked him, what do you want me to play? And then before I let him answer, I hadn't played my Harlequins at all. Like, I had made all my Orc Harlequins, and then Rona happened, and I did not get a chance to play them at all. So I was like, oh, you know what? I actually really want to play my Harleys. They're supposed to be good this edition, and I've looked at it on paper, and they look good on paper. I kind of want to run them around. And he's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. I mean, I'm bringing guard, and that's gonna suck for me, or vet guard. He's like, that's like pretty much the opposite of what I'm kitted for, but that's fine. I got to learn how to play against him somehow, so let's do it now. And then I felt really bad when I realized I picked a really good counter. And I offered to change. Heck, I even offered to bring my entire flayed ones army. I was like, no, that's okay. I'll bring the flayed ones. It's fine. And he insisted I play the Harlequins. And dude, like on paper, they make a lot. Domino field or whatever it's called, prismatic field, heroic entrance or what it's called.
Murderous.
No. Hero's Path, Murderous Entrance, all these different things. They got silly names, but
Yep.
all their tactics. But then flip belts alone, like I was enamored with climbing ropes.
Yeah, no, this is everyone is the poor man's Harlequin.
Yeah.
That's got any sort of mobility, anything.
And the reality of it is, like, it forced him into a situation where he could either play aggressive or play cagey, and he would lose in both scenarios. We were playing on the map layouts for the ITC stuff. We played Loot and Salvage, the one where you can triple tap each objective. I think it's called Loot and Salvage.
Yeah, the very first one.
Yeah. And we were playing a map layout. Actually, we rolled on the table, and it was the one that you and I designed, which actually worked out pretty well as far as cover and shooting lines and stuff like that. But the reality of it is, like, I placed my barricades very defensively just to make sure that all my clowns were lined up inside cover. So that way with Domino Field, I think he couldn't shoot me.
I was going to say, Harlequins made it probably not feel it so much, but you didn't actually get a 3-inch move on everyone before the game started.
And honestly, like, part of me, I was like, damn, I don't get my dash. And then I realized, damn, it doesn't matter.
You get a dash every turn.
But the reality of it is, you get the move dash if you want to. And when that's pretty much a straight line, I literally just marched them up to be in cover, and I made sure I was moving the people who could move and not get flanked, depending on who he's already moved. And like, he didn't get any shots off on the first round. And then the second round, we were all in combat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, because, like, we know that the Compendium teams are weak. Like, you and I know. And I think the collective internet generally has an idea that there's a lot of very, very, very strong Compendium teams. But I see a lot of talk over and over and over about how you just need to wait for a bespoke.
Now hold on. I think we need to go back a second, because I think you said what you were trying to say backwards. You just said that you and I know that a lot of Compendium teams are weak.
Oh, you and I know are not weak. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Wow.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure
out. I was gonna say, wait, what?
Like, that's I read our prompt wrong then. What is he going on to? You and I know that the aren't weak is what I was trying to say. I might not have articulated that, but those were the words that I was trying to have come out of my mouth.
No. Yeah, you in fact articulated the exact opposite.
Wonderful. Fabulous. Great. You and I know that they aren't weak. Honestly, there's definitely ones that struggle. Marines are in a weird spot, as we talked about last week at length, due to just numbers and activation. If you want to check that out, check out last week's Hobby and Hang, while I spent 15 minutes to get one simple sentence out. But this really got me thinking, because we know that Harlequins are super strong, but honestly, I think I could do a lot more damage with a Harlequins kill team than I can, and find a lot more success easily with a Harlequins kill team than with commandos.
Well, it's the movement tricks. They just have so much, and
it's
when you can play movement well,
Go ahead, finish.
It breaks the game open.
Yeah, 100%. Because positioning, movement, knowing when to pounce, that's That's big brain stuff, right? And I'm not
Hmm.
just sitting here flaunting. It's like I'm big brain, so it works. But the reality of it is we drilled each other for the previous edition on movement is key, and we really, really, really drove that home, and that just prepared us to the umpteenth degree for this edition. And then when you're given all the tools to move easily, and then you're given all the tools to fight easily, 5 attacks, and then with you stack that with something like Embrace, where you have Harlequin's Embrace that has Brutal, and then with Prismatic Field, I think, or Prismatic Barrier, you then roll a 4-up and turn strikes in melee that the opponent goes to strike you on a 4-up. It's a parry
Right.
instead. But then you have Brutal, so they're non-crits that you turn into parries, just don't do anything.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Is
That's been
that
fact. That's
that
been fact.
has?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think
Teach
they
me.
I think they technically fact it for the Drukari one, whatever that one's called. It's the identical wording. So no, you that
Okay.
situation
Well,
doesn't
I
work.
beat him up real hard then. Um, and I was not playing by the rules, apparently. I'm pulling this open. I'm going to see
Whoops.
what the FAQ is. Okay. Well, either way, they have things like
Yeah.
Murderous Entrance, where I think that's if you get a crit, you can follow that up with another hit immediately. And then you
Hmm.
have the duck out one where you can hit and then run away. And then you
How many
have
attacks do they get in melee? Is it five or
five.
six? Yeah, so
Five.
pretty good chances.
Pretty good chances you'll get a crit.
Yeah. Even on a six and with a lethal five, it's darn near guaranteed.
So Compendium, you said it was
You look in Drukari, I believe it's
that
where
would
it's at.
be Comorites, right? It's not there.
Yes.
No, that's
It,
that.
it's
It's
it,
only.
it's it may be in the
Oh
designer's
no,
commentary.
it's under troops specifically. Wow, I'm
Oh, it is.
bad.
Okay, never mind. So I had it the other way around.
Yeah. So how does the second bullet point of prismatic blur ploy interact with the brutal special rule? If the operative is forced to parry as a result of 4+, the brutal special will have no effect. The operative can parry with normal hits and the. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I was about to say it's like combinations like that are just obscenely strong, just
Right.
absolutely obscenely strong. Thank you for pointing that out. I hope Jonathan's watching this. He's gonna feel a lot better because he stood a chance to do something in some of those combats. I don't think it would have changed much, but it definitely would have hurt some of my clowns.
Yeah.
Um,
I think you owe him a cookie.
I do owe him a cookie, Jonathan. I'm gonna bring you a cookie. But okay, that makes me feel better about them. But then you have stuff like Hero's Path, where for 3 APL, you spend 1 CP so you can use it, and then for 3 APL, you can literally just deep strike in the middle of the game.
Hmm.
Now, all of this is not as relevant as the fact that, and this is something that's always been a pet peeve of mine, that people don't talk about factions with respect to their tac ops. Um,
Hmm.
Harleys can take what you call it, infiltration, which
Yep.
is
A good one.
one of the good ones, yeah, and the good one for a melee focused team. Now, the way infiltration reads, let me get the actual reading for the exact behind enemy lines. Uh, uh, uh. Behind enemy lines, reveal this at the target reveal step of any turning point. If one or more friendly operatives are wholly within your opponent's drop zone and more than 3 inches or square from enemy operatives, you score 1 VP. So it's not end of the battle round. You just exist there. The moment you plop down there, boom, you get it.
Mhm.
If you achieve this at the end of any subsequent turning points, you score 1 VP. So with Hero's Path, you just third battle round, one of your clowns, maybe a really wounded one, goes very far away from the action, just hangs out there for 2, right?
Yeah.
Super easy. It's cost 3 APL to do it, sure, but if that's a guy that you didn't have a good plan for, excuse me.
Can you do
Anyway,
it? Can you do it if he's in melee?
yeah, don't know. I think Hero's Path you have to do it when you're not um,
Not engaged.
not engaged. I believe something about the is limited who can do it. I was reading it this morning.
Or is it like it's essentially a normal
No.
move? No?
Oh yeah, it has no restrictions here. When they're
Yeah, so you can.
activated, until the end of the activation, it can perform this action. And the action is just move this operative anywhere in the kill zone that is more than pentagon from enemy operatives. Now, the rule lawyer in me wants to say, well, move, so you have to be able to do a move action.
Yeah. So
So
I
I would
don't think I'm mixing rules here, but in the Big Hammer facts, they have clarified that anytime like they make a wording like that and it's not like specified, it is a normal move.
okay.
But we don't have that in Kill Team yet. To
No, we don't have that clarification, but I think it's fairly safe to assume that just to restrict yourself that way if you're concerned that it might go away, just so you don't get used to it being too strong. But yeah, yeah, they're just incredibly strong. Yeah, they're just incredibly strong. Kill Team Academy Alex here. Hey Alex.
Hey,
Uh
other Alex.
hey other Alex. The only other one. Um he said, "How do you generally keep track of the higher wound counts on each model now? Just D10s or similar die?"
Yeah.
I well, for any faction that's 7 or less, or even 8 or less wounds, you can get away with D6s. That's what you do, right, Alex?
Um, yes and no. Because all my Skatari bar the alpha are 7 wounds, so yeah, D6 does just fine. The Sicarians are 10 or 11 wounds, depending on whether it's a normal or a princeps. But I have the old school AdMech Kill Team set, which came with 2 D10s.
Mm,
So
that works out
I'm
pretty well.
it works really well. And honestly, like I would counter that anything up to 13 wounds, you're totally fine with 2d6.
It does get a little cluttered, though.
It does, but
Yeah, I mean,
if you were fine with the potential of 2 dice on a 7 wound model or on an 8 wound model, then
yeah.
up to 13 wounds is no
Well,
different.
the reality of taking just one wound is so low that it's
Yes.
unlikely that you're going to be on a
Yeah.
7. So that's why I said even 8 wound
That's fair.
models, it's unlikely you're going to go down to 7 wounds just unless you just randomly get a mortal wound from splash. And how often is that going to happen? You know,
Does Ninja Grat have the only thing that's actually 1 damage?
I'm sure there's something else. I'm sure there is. I don't know for a fact, but I'm sure there is. Now, I wanted to oh, sorry, for higher wound models, like for my orcs, especially anything more than 8 wounds. Most of them are 10. You have a couple small wounds in there, but let's be honest, if someone's attacking my Grout, I've messed up big time. The I have these little wound dials. There's tons of them. I think Lester's Workshop makes them. I have mine from another place on Etsy called Schooner Labs. I think he's in Canada,
Canada.
somewhere. Yeah. Hey,
Or is
yeah,
that
he's in Canada. There you go. There you go, Alex.
I'm
Other
pretty
Alex.
sure he's from over on the east
Yes.
coast somewhere too, so he should be super
I
close
think he's
then.
Nova Scotia. At least that's what I think I remember seeing on the mailing slips. I use those little wound dials, but a lot of the times a couple D10s will do you well as well. I've seen people use D20s for custodians. And those are fine. Those are fine. They don't get in the way too much. It's just D20s are annoying AF to find the number on if you're not completely used to them.
Well, or if
Um,
you have the like spin
I
downs
was
from
about to
Magic.
say. I was about to say
Yeah.
most game shops are primarily magic shops, not magic tricks. You know what I mean? And they'll have spin downs for MTG. So if you can get yourself like spend $1 on 25-cent spin downs, and you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about them being high quality for rolling or anything like that. These aren't the kind of dice that you're worried about rolling. You're just using them for spin down. And I also saw someone who was tracking their wounds for the custodians using the war cry little templates that have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for multiple similar models, which worked out well. Decluttered the board a little bit, but it just led to me asking, how many wounds does this guy have again? How many wounds does this guy have again? So I kind of like having that stuff on the board. That's my personal preference. Oh, are you serious? Oh my goodness, Alex. I have half.
Oh shoot!
So
I just saw it too. Yeah.
yeah, so he says that Schooner Labs is very close, like a 10-minute drive. Literally half of my kill team and wargaming accoutrement are from Schooner Labs. I think the same goes for Alex. My Alex. Not Canada Alex. Yeah. So yeah.
We should go visit Canada, Alex, and go fangirl at Schooner Labs.
Oh my goodness, I totally would. Do you remember me? No. I'm your biggest fan. No, you really aren't. So, Compendium teams, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them that are very solid. I mean, I just gushed for 20 minutes on the clowns, but then you also have other examples like Forge World. Now this is a great example, and also Greenskid's honestly really good. So 2 examples of Compendium teams that have a bespoke, but their Compendium teams are pretty darn good as well. What do you like about Forge World?
So the interesting thing about Forge World versus Hunter Clade, I think, is where they're good in the game. And you already touched on the fact that a lot of discussions don't take in TAC ops as much as they should into the discussion because
it's a third of the points. It should always be part of the discussion.
Right.
It's such a pet peeve of mine. Anyway.
Especially with regards to the 2 AdMech factions, it's huge. Because a lot of people say that Hunter Clade is stronger. And I do think, like, moment to moment, when you're actively playing a game, Hunter Clade does generally have more options. The Doctrina
options are good.
Yes, and options are good. And their Doctrina imperatives work a little different. I'm not sure. I don't think either one's strictly better. But they are different, and it is certainly something to take into consideration. But what the Forge World teams do so well is on a roster, you can build out to have a full melee team, a full shooting team, the mixed team, and then, so, just in terms of operatives, you have way more choices. And then on top of that, depending on how you build, you have access to every single set of TAC ops in the game. If you're Forge World, yeah. I can't remember which ones are attached to which right now, but yeah, if you decide that you really want to run security in a game, you pick whichever fire team will let you do that, and then you've got another one that you're free to choose depending on the matchup.
That's so big.
Yeah. And if you decide to go, so technically, I mean, you've never seen me done it, and I don't think I ever will. You could run Hunter Clade full shooty and get one of each of the big guns. But if Forge World does it, they get they don't get, well, I guess they get 4 special guns, and they can potentially double up on any of them. So that is just that's the difference in play style, I think. And where you want to put not all your mental effort, but put more of your mental effort.
Yeah. Quick aside, this Tamiya pin vise, probably my favorite new hobby purchase.
Nice.
I had this pin vise for a long time. This is the Army Painter one, and just it's a little too bulky. The length of it from where you spin is a lot further away from where you're having your control.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always a little annoying to me. This is silky smooth, and the bits are just so much better. So much better. I hear the Citadel one is really good, but also Citadel price. Yeah, if anyone needs a pin vise to drill barrels, tip of your hobby knife works really well. But if you want a pin vise, cannot recommend this enough.
Hold up 1 second.
Hold up. Wait a
Chancellor,
minute.
is that you in chat?
Who?
I think my little cousin is in chat.
Who dat?
Chance?
Chance the Rapper?
No, I'm not related to him to the best of my knowledge. I don't think my family is that scandalous.
What state is Chance the Rapper from?
I do not know.
There's a lot of rap coming out of Atlanta.
No.
No, isn't there?
No.
Bro,
No, I'm not, well, but no, my family isn't out of Atlanta.
I know, but who knows? Family can also be married in. Listen, let me believe that your cousin is Chance the Rapper. Thank you.
Okay.
He's from Cleveland.
Wait, who is?
No, I think that is your cousin.
Yeah.
But he's saying he's from Cleveland.
Okay, well, there you go. Maybe.
Alrighty, the great assembly begins. Let's dry fit a lot of this stuff. So yeah, those were my thoughts on Harlequins, and then Forge World you shared. Again, coming to the mix of what you can bring, but also the but also in a big way the tac ops, and that's going to be highly reliant on like what mission are you playing, what the maps are going to look like, what other teams are out at this point, what buffs, what debuffs have happened with FAQs and stuff like that. There's so much that goes into it to just completely downplay the relevance of Compendium teams just for bespoke teams. I think is a crucial mistake. For example, it happened. Sorry, one quick point. It happened to a pretty significant degree with how does this go? Did I? Oh, it goes right there. Whew. With greenskins. A lot of people were discounting just generic orc greenskins, saying, I mean, if you're going to play orcs, just play commandos because they're better. And I will admit, I prefer the commandos, and I think they have a lot of tools, and they have a lot of necessary tools. I will be the first to acknowledge that. But greenskins aren't slouches. You can have 2 rocket boys and a combi rocket on your boss knob, and that is legitimately terrifying.
Yep.
I took out a custodian from pretty much full health to no health with just my commando rocket boy, and granted he had his full agency, so he's hitting on 4s. He had Boom Boy, so he was re-rolling, but a targeting thing on a commando, or not commando, on just a regular orc.
The gunners.
The orc gunners with the combi rocket, or just the rocket launchers. That's still a pretty big deal. And then you have 2 of them.
That sends them to hitting on a 4, right?
Yeah, which is the same as a commando rocket boy.
And then for the knob, does his ballistic skill increase or just his weapon skill?
I think it's just weapon skill.
Okay.
Or ballistic skill. This is really fiddly to put together. I don't know how the best way to do this is. I think I have to glue the leg on. I think so. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. So then you have greenskins, which I think are definitely viable in their own right. And again, they're tac ops. I think they can even get access to security if they want, which is really interesting, I think. You have to take the specialist fire team, which I don't think is as good as two boys fire teams. But you have that access.
To do the double boys fire teams, how many?
Oh, yes. Thank you for
out?
asking that question, because I'm not sure if you were going to get to what I wanted to actually say. But they also allow you to have a ton of wounds if you take the double boys fire teams. I think the most wounds in the game on a single fire team can be with the double boys fire team. And they also get access to the best tactic in the game, which is just a scratch.
Yep.
So there's a lot to love about this Compendium team, and I'm actually planning on playing a game or two with them in the next coming weeks, just to see how much fun that actually is. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize that this was a grot hand on the antler until I slid the torso in and saw that it socketed right into
nice
that. Oh my goodness. This looks amazing, man. Now what I need to ask if this is a viable model that I can use for the Kill Team Open painting competition as the Great Gobbo. Because per the rules for their painting competition, well, maybe...
Well, it's not the Great Gobbo, it's the Red Gobbo.
The Red Gobbo, yeah. Because this is the Red Gobbo. It very much is. And per the... Okay, which is his right foot? I think that's his right foot. Yeah. Per the rules of the painting competition, it's anything that was legal in Kill Team 1 and Kill Team 2. And the Red Gobbo is a commander for Kill Team 1. Oh,
the base is probably a little large.
Nope. It's a 40 mil base.
Oh.
Maybe. That's okay. I don't think anyone will mind.
Might be a little unfair when you show up with just the straight up coolest model.
It won't be the best painted, I can guarantee that. Okay, where's Rudolph nose? Did I not clip it out? Did I lose it?
No.
Oh no.
To be fair, that's the easiest green stuff in the world.
No. It's still on here. I did not clip it specifically because I did not want to lose it. Thank you, past E-Man. And other Compendium teams that stand out to me are, and I mentioned them last week, Chaos Space Marines. They get 6 bodies, which is amazing. But then they can also take cultists, which is amazing. Grey Knights, because I really enjoy what they can do with psychic abilities that are just buffs.
Mm-hmm.
I should have dry fit this. There it is. I got it.
Attaboy.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy. Other teams that stand out to me as fun compendium teams. Let's think. I had a whole list this morning. Oh my goodness, my brain. Oh, well, these aren't good, but I think they're fun. Death Watch. I like Death Watch as a very fun team to play, especially if you play narrative, because it really allows you to recruit different little specialists, which I think is a cool way to do things.
Yeah.
Whereas recruiting a whole nother fire team is pretty hard in narrative. But you get that benefit from recruiting. Okay, well, let me recruit a guy with an Infernus Heavy Bolter. You could do that, right?
Yeah. So that was going to be my comment, was that is the one place where, largely speaking, there is a significant drawback to compendium teams, is that the building out the narrative rosters is really hard.
Yes, because you have to go all the way with like multiple
Yeah.
different
Yeah, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know how that works, with narrative, you start with the absolute minimum number of models you need to make a legal kill team, and then you gain this resource every time you play. You gain one requisition point, and you can swap it in one for a model, and so or operative, and then so if you have multiple fire teams that need lots of models to flesh out, it can be really hard to build up. But for like commandos and hunter clade, it's just a single fire team. Same with Deathwatch, which is why they're kind of the exception to the rule in the compendium. Um, that make it difficult to flesh out.
correct. Yeah. Yeah. So, long story short, I think it's unreasonable to just discount the compendium entirely. Now, I will say this. If you are thinking of a new kill team, you don't already have the models, or you do, but you have finite time or resources or what have you, and you're debating on whether you should wait for their update or their bespoke team, or just go ahead. If you don't need the models now, you honestly are benefited by waiting, because you at least have the option, right? You at least know, you at least know which team you're going to want to play once you see it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What the heck is this? Was this an option I missed somewhere that I'm going to want? What are you? I refuse to look at the instructions. Do not recommend it.
It's okay. You're just being properly orky.
Well, yeah. I can't remember the last time I needed instructions to build something, because I usually buy a kit and I just use it for bashing. Is this an alternative tail? Can't be. Kind of looks like a stubby tail, but I chose the right one if this is an alternative tail. I'm trying to look for the socket that this goes in.
Just look at the instructions to identify it.
I'm looking at the picture right now, and I don't see anything that I am missing. But I do see that I'm going to definitely paint the... I'm definitely going to paint the grenade in his hand like a candy cane. Oh, that was supposed to go on the inside of him. That's his tongue. Oh, I messed up.
Oh.
Uh-oh, that's a big deal. Okay, let's hope this all comes back together again. Fine. Oh, dear.
You'll be fine.
I hope. Yikes. Oh, this is breaking my heart. Okay, how did that leg come off? I don't want to break plastic, but this is the first thing that I
Can you not use tweezers and thread the
No,
Throw the in.
it's seated. I might have spent too long building this, and now I can't pry this free. Oh, bugger. Yeah, he's got no tongue.
Sleep on it. You'll figure out a way.
Well, the longer I wait, the harder this gets.
Well, even if you like trim it partially and jam some green stuff in there, you can do something.
Nope. We're saved.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it goes right there. Silly rabbit. Now let's see if we can just re-plastic glue the plastic glue. That was a test run.
You were dry fitting. Just forgot
Wet.
about the dry part.
I was wetly dry fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that will look really good in there. He had no tongue, and I didn't notice it because his teeth are so gloriously big. Okay. That just means I'm going to have to do a little bit more kind of filing afterwards to make this all smooth again. That's okay.
Or
Or
you just paint the roughness because he's a squig.
well, yes, but skin's not usually that rough. But he's a squig is what you're going to say?
But he's a squig, and you can make it slobber or something.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, it's coming together. We're just going to be fine. We're fine, everyone. Everything's fine. How are you?
Nerd.
Listen, I'm sitting here prying apart a space Santa from the 41st millennium. There is no doubt in my mind where my nerddom lies.
Apparently, at the base of the mouth of a squig.
Yes. My nerddom knows no bounds. Oh.
Uh.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
Awesome.
Yeah. It builds really quickly the second time around. You know, the happy little accident right here is that the second coating of the kind of sprue, it kind of created some sprue goo. So on the bottom of the base, it actually kind of blended the little socket of the base inside. So I'm not going to have to liquid green stuff that.
Nice.
Yep. And now this has to somehow connect in there. And I don't know how. And would I learn from my mistakes? Nope.
Never.
Nope, I could not possibly. It's going to be something like that. But I think the ball has to rest on this, so it might be the other way around. No, it's not the other way around. I'll figure it out later. As he still toils with it to figure it out now.
You okay there?
Me?
Yeah, it sounded like you sneezed or something.
Oh, I was snickering. That was a.
All right. Any other Compendium teams that you're hot on?
Um, Let me look at my notes.
Custodians don't need to be mentioned. That's a given.
Oh yeah, I definitely purposefully did not say them because they were the boogeyman for good reason because they were just tuned a little, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a little too in the different direction. Um, I think I mentioned the big ones that I was thinking of. There's probably some really good ones out there that I'm missing entirely. But point being is that just because they're in the compendium doesn't mean they're Hotgar.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think that's a good hour's work.
Hooray!
Yeah,
We did a thing.
I really like how this turned out. Alrighty, bud.
Yes, sir.
You stay classy, all right?
Never.
Okay, good. Up to your old tricks.
Yes.
Well, I'll also have you know that I figured out how this works now. So we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, I'm thinking, and we can have a little bit of a strategic advantage planning meeting right now. I'm thinking that we'll probably have one more before the end of the year of these. Because once holiday season sets in, stuff gets busy, you know?
Yeah, maybe two? No, maybe just one.
I think we're probably just going to have one more of these next week. And
Mm-hmm.
then that'll be it until 2022. So,
That'll be fun.
yeah. So, there it is. Looks nice. So that's it for today. If you're catching this on Spotify, which I know all 8 of you are, check check out our YouTube. There's some fun stuff on there. All Scions Rock is what Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop is saying. Yes, that's one I was thinking of. I forgot about that. I was thinking Guard. I was like, well, Guard's not that exciting just on its own. There's something about it, and I'm just like, eh. Sean Lavery saying base size is not a rule for the KTO painting contest, or rather legal base size. Single figure should be on the display base and may include ancillary models necessary to setting up a scene. That's right. Perfect.
Wait. I'm thinking something. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No. You want to
It'll
share that
come
with
to
the, you want to share that with the class, or is this going to be just for you?
No, this is just for me.
Okay, wonderful. I
If,
love it.
well, no, if base size isn't legal, and you should figure it out from there. Or if legal base size is not a concern, you can figure it out from there.
Are we talking about my Commando Grot leader?
No. Oh, wait, maybe?
Are you looking?
Yes, that one, yes.
Yeah, so we'll go over just for a minute. The story on this is that I was accused of A, not owning basing material because all I use is the Necromunda bases. And I was also accused of B, not committing to a stupid joke. I was talking to Sheldon from Kill Team Stream, and he has a thing with legal base sizes, the ITC base sizes, just to give people guidelines if they're customizing models or they're using third-party kits or they have to rebase, that kind of stuff, right? And in nowhere did it say that you couldn't be bigger. It just said cannot be smaller. So I said, so I can put my Grot on the biggest base I own? And he's like, if you really wanted to, but why would you? And I said, because I said I would. And I got called out that I wouldn't. So I think 20 minutes later, I snapped this grot off of just a regular base. I didn't repaint him. And then I just sterling mudded the entire bottom, did some washes and some dry brushes. I picked some rocks from my garden and then just used the tufts of grass. And I still want to use this as my grot in Kill Team.
So the funny thing about that is in the old edition of Kill Team, there was some. It wasn't explicitly stated in the official rules whether a base counted as a model or not for purposes of targeting, and Sheldon had to fact it.
Yeah.
He said it did not count.
Yeah, there was a lot of debate about that constantly. I remember.
In this version, though, it has been explicitly stated that
it's not.
The base does not count for visibility.
Correct.
So you can.
But I think dressings on the base, like any kind of scenic things, I think those do count.
Fair.
But also, there's rules for overhanging, sure, but I don't think. I think you know exactly where I was going with that.
I don't think I could get up on a vantage point with you.
Nope. And I also think I could probably, in certain, I could probably cover 2, maybe even 3 objectives on certain layouts with that grot. That should be fun to do a bat rep with. We'll plan it. But, yep. And I've magnetized the bottom, make it easier to prime and paint. So he's all ready to go. That was fun. I'm glad I decided to do that today. I needed a break from painting. I kind of missed building. The painting slog sometimes gets to me and I just want to build again.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I feel that.
So
Right.
I guess we'll say bye again.
Yeah.
Because I got distracted. Bye, Internet.
Bye,
hope
Internet.
you had fun. Catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. All that stuff will be in the description. Bye.
Bye.